party like all night. Aren't you into me?
Good morning. How are we all doing today? Today we'll be painting a hot, sexy anime boy who has the power to tell you what to do. For those not familiar with this anime series, Jujutsu Kaisen, this fella is Toge, Inumaki, the cursed speech user. So to start, I sketched out an initial drawing of the character before going over the lines again with darker, clean and more confident lines.
And I hope you like Hennessy. Why aren't you into me? You only call me on the weekend. You only love.
Once the linework drawing was looking all clean and sweet, I started painting in the first skin layer. I wanted to have his face half lit by a strong light source on the left, so I painted around that highlight shape like this. I also just couldn't be stuffed drawing in his other eye, so I lazily left that out. And then I just continued with the skin layers, slowly building up to more saturated colours and also deeper tones for the mid-tone and eventually shadows.
We're just getting started. I don't wanna be broken-hearted every time. They hit me once, they change their mind. Why aren't you into me? Why?
In this show, the world is infested with demons called curses, basically the bad guys. And then there are Jujutsu sorcerers who are the good guys. The sorcerers each have these unique powers that are used to exorcise or kill the curses. So the story follows these students at a secret school that trains young Jujutsu sorcerers. Toge Inumaki is one of these sorcerers, and his power, Cursed Speech, is seriously one of the coolest concepts. It's basically like an overpowered version of Simon Says. Whatever he commands, his target has to do. So if he says die, they die. There are some limitations, but that is the gist. To avoid accidentally commanding people all the time, he only speaks in sushi ingredients until he actually needs his power, which I think is kind of funny, endearing and silly. Although he doesn't say much in this series, I think he's a really cool character with really cool powers. So over the past year or so, I've been enjoying making fan art and reimagining anime characters in my style. It's kind of a throwback to what I did in most of my spare time as a kid. I was always drawing characters from any anime, movie or game I was obsessed with. I filled sketchbook after sketchbook with characters from Fruits Basket, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts. Making fan art is just a fun little way to remind myself I have free will and can paint whatever things I find fun and interesting. I do enjoy making more technically challenging and serious works, but it's nice to do fun pieces like this too. I don't watch anime that often anymore, but when I do, I really do. For instance, a few years ago, I put out a poll asking people for anime recommendations. At the time, there was this brand new anime series called Jujutsu Kaisen that was really hype and growing in popularity. So I had a lot of people suggesting this. I didn't know much about it, aside from the comparison and people saying it was an amazing art style like Demon Slayer. And I love Demon Slayer, so not thinking much of it, I decided to casually watch just one episode before bed, just to check it out, you know? Boy oh boy, that was a mistake, because before I knew it, suddenly the sun had risen well into the afternoon the next day. I ended up binge watching the entire show, the entire season in one sitting, and I was disgusted with myself. Honestly, it was a really cool show. I was instantly hooked from the start. There were really sick characters, an awesome art style, and just great world building. But the emphasis being I loved the start, and also I guess the end of the season. I just didn't like the middle of the season at all. I felt like it just dragged on and on and on. As a nod to Inumaki's cursed speech technique, I decided to add this little black speech bubble coming out of his mouth, and I intentionally left it blank so you could leave it to your imagination of what things he's telling you to do. Most of the painting was done by this point, so it was time to bring out the mixed media tools to add some extra flair and finishing details to the work. I added these little circles as a nod to halftone effects that you see in manga and comic books, and also some linear brushstrokes. Typically with my work, I like to go over the line work at the very end to clean edges and also to bring a sort of cohesiveness to the painting. So here I'm using this dark indigo pencil, and it's really good at making the eyes pop. Then I got out the white ink for those last finishing details, the crispy white highlights.
Everyone have had it like all night. Out your enemy. Probably wanna party like all night. And she looking like a zombie in her off-white. And she looking, yeah, she looking for a handout. She think 'cause she with me, she in a band now. Pull up in the truck, back it up like a limousine. Looking like a blast from the past, look like Billie Jean. And you're the only turn I see. And I hope you like Tennessee.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I hope you guys are having an awesome day. Don't forget to make more art, and I'll see you guys soon.